What's going on, everybody? Still letting people pile in before we get started. I am Tony Pollock, helping Jeremy out today, and super excited to be here. By the way,
what's up, Tony?
Jeremy's in the house too. Sweet. What's going on, man?
Man, thank you so much for helping me out right now. I appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to for sure.
I mean, you do a better job than me at everything, so this is better for everyone else, really.
That's not possible, man. You taught me all your ways, bro. It's just how the cookie crumbles, man. What's going on, guys? Super excited to do the afternoon room. Wow, the afternoon room they are on time. This room is filled. Woo! Let's get started. Let's do this thing. We'll start with the markets real quick, and then we will go down your list. Why Jeremy's on as well. Jeremy, do you have anything you want to talk about for the trades that you guys are in?
No, man, we're good.
We're good? Cool. Good stuff. Just wait for the jokes and try to distract you. Yeah, I know. Dude, they're ready to party today. All right, good. I thought you'd be like, man, Tony's in the house. Oh, start seeing 60 people, 100 people, then down to 20 people. But no, it's still building. So awesome. Let's go over the SPY real quick. A hint of strength on the SPY still. I am weary of all of this still and seeing how it plays out. But a close above this bear candle today is a pretty decent deal in my opinion. I think that's pretty solid. We have really failed to do that on all of these pushes down to actually get back up and close above these bear candles. So we've done that today. We held it. And I'm looking to probably grab a few more calls back down to 385.50. I say that with a little bit of hesitancy because we go to a monthly and this 5% pullback was nothing. So there is room to go down. I have a few scenarios. Either we push into 400 and then finally fall off. Okay, it's option number one. Option number two is we simply chop sideways in a channel and let everything catch up to us. Okay. Option number three is we get a nasty gap down and that'll pull it down close. So not too shabby on the SPY. I'm not in full bore. I wanted it at 350. I'm pretty sure Jeremy wants it 350 as well. That's where we're at on the markets. The Qs, I told the Qs to close above this EMA today and we failed to. So I'm a little bit leaning more towards this bear trend is continuing, this bear channel, I should say. And we are going to start working our way for one more low. I said that was a possibility here. I think it would make a ton more sense for one more low to come in. It says, Jeremy, I'm getting roasted. That's what I expected to see. Everyone gets their, man, who put Tony on here? At the moment, I did grab some puts once we broke that double top on the 5 minute today, just to hedge some of the leaps that I got in down here. We'll see what happens with the markets. So do exactly the opposite. I was just going to throw that out there. For sure, do the exact opposite. In fact, do the opposite of the opposite of the opposite of what I said. You can do the math on that one. All right, let's jump into it. ZI for our Wednesday. ZI has had a pullback into support. No doubt about it. Jump out to a bigger time frame. I'm going to try not to spend, so do nothing. Exactly, Joseph. Do nothing till Jeremy gets back. That's all I can say. Zoom info, decently new stock. I don't even have monthly EMAs, so let's go off the weekly. Currently below the only 2 weekly EMAs that we've got, but into a rock solid support. So as with most things, I'd be looking, if I was going to be setting this guy up, I don't think there's an issue with giving up the good entry, doing a stop limit above this bear candle that just came in. Your stop down here should be a 1-to-1 to there and a 2-to-1 back up top there. That's how I would set that trade up. You still do have a little bit of resistance in the way. Of course, there's always going to be that case, but I'd be looking to set that trade up this way. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, that's really what I would do. I would give up the good confirmation. If you don't like that idea, buy off of where we've bounced before and pick a support zone. Let's try to pick the bottom of that hammer. Honestly, with this hammer, bear candle, gap up above, we should start going. If we start pulling back on this, I would say it's probably weaker than not and we're going lower. So that's why I like the idea of possibly throwing in that stop limit above this, let it confirm, give up the great entry for a good entry, and avoid being trapped in on this one. So that's how I would play this one right there. If you guys are interested in that one, my stop would need to go below that support, and I'd have to figure that out to see what would be a 1-to-1, but it would look something close to this. Let's see if I can get a 1-to-1 back into there. I think I could with that. So that's my thoughts on ZI RIOT. We got a long list too, so I got to get moving. RIOT is a nice retest gap today. Actually, that finished extremely well. Yeah, I missed my chance off of the weekly EMA. So if that was the entry again, I kind of feel like I'm chasing this a little bit now. I would wait for a pullback down into your support, like 46-ish is where I would be looking for this guy. 46.50, somewhere in this zone is where I think we should be getting in on this. Anything else I feel like is too high. Your stop needs to be below this. You're just giving up your risk. And if you could grab 2 R's back up into this high, which is where this thing looked like it's going, target for RIOT, depends on where you got in, my friend, but I would be looking to start shaving some shares off from 69 to 80. And that ballpark is profit-taking zone. You got in at 43. Oh, sweet. Take some profits off at this resistance right now. A little bit, see what happens tomorrow. You can shave off a little bit on that and then pump, like I said, 73 to 80 is your profit-taking zone. I would, depending on how fast this one goes, guys, if you start screaming, if this little trend continues and you just keep pumping, take 30% off at target 2, let it ride back down and crank higher. I'd be taking some profits off, selling some calls up at 90 and letting this thing rock and roll. Yeah, I agree. This thing, I almost kind of feel like I've missed this. And so, yeah, 43, if you're in on that, oh, dude, that's looking good. I know Jeremy's full bull on this one. If you can get back in on a pullback, I would do it. To me, I feel like I'm chasing this a little bit, but it looks great. It looks really good. Good stuff. Workhorse. Oh, the dead dog of the stock market. You know, it is a lot back and forth of will they get this? Will they not? Have they lost this? Is that false news, right? I haven't followed this too close, but their whole stock was living and dying off of this deal that they were going to get, right? And apparently the deal fell through. So now you are putting in a double bottom. That gives us something to trade against. If you want to try this out here, you need to create a hedging plan. That's what I would do. Grab shares. It's a great place to buy. Grab shares, put an alert down around 1190. And if this breaks 1190, you're going to sell a call against your shares, most likely at 28. And you're going to buy puts, most likely the 10 strike. Both of these things do probably 2 months out, you know, expiration in 2 months. You're hedged, let it roll lower, buy some more down around 10 to 6 range, I think. Really, I have to go back and find that out. But that'll give you your shot and give you that peace of mind. You could, of course, throw your stop down there and get stopped out. But play it a little bit longer term right now on these pullbacks. In my mind, I'm not super down for short-term swings. They're fine. I'm actually in too. But I'm trying to load up on more longer-term stuff. When you finally get these pullbacks, go think longer term, okay? If you're already in Workhorse, I know a lot of people that are stuck in Workhorse. Hedge if you break 12. Let's just say that some more. Hopefully you were already hedged on this gap. But if you're not, start selling calls against your position and lower your dollar cost average weight. And let's just see if we can't ride back up to the top of this channel at least. It's looking like it's setting up. There you go, 16.95 average. Good. That's what you can do. If you like this company, start averaging in, think longer term, be patient, stop looking at your P&L, look at the charts, see what your heart's telling you, okay? I got to keep moving. Wendy's. Oh, man. I love the trap Wendy's has put in. We are hovering right at monthly EMAs. The only issue I see is that we are stuck at a pretty big resistance on a monthly chart. We've pulled back once off this resistance, pushed higher, failed that again, and then we haven't bounced off of it like we should. So there is a hint of weakness if I'm looking long term. Weekly, you're below most of those EMAs. And so at this point now, I'm expecting some sort of roll down and start playing it off of this guy here, the 200 EMA on a weekly. That's my next location I'd be looking at. That's me. This thing could easily bounce out of here. The daily looks really good, actually. The daily looks like it just trapped and it's getting ready to scream. For me, I go to a bigger time frame, and I still think we're going to be pulling back a little bit more. That's what I would do. So either be the trap or try to grab it off of that weekly. Wix. All right. Wix. I think Wix is setting up for a trade. Pulling back down. You do have a little bit more to that 10, which is what I'm trying to play for on pullbacks. During the pullbacks in the market, I'm going to a bigger time frame and I'm looking to see where are my monthly EMAs. Am I still 8% from the monthly EMAs, or am I getting down to them? If you're getting down to them, you could be safe starting to pyramid in, worst case, or jumping in again with a longer term perspective. If you're doing this with options, at least 6 months out. By 6 months out, that gives you enough time to, just in case it decides to keep pushing lower, it gives you 3 months for it to turn around and get going. If you buy a month or two out or 2 weeks out, it's not going to give you enough time if this is not the bounce. So you've always got to play that to yourself of, hey, this might not be the bounce. Give yourself more room, more time, and allow yourself to ride this bottom out, because it will be going higher. Definitely into a buying zone. I'm trying to figure out where we could buy this one. It's probably the first one that I'm like, I haven't missed this one and I actually like it. So yeah, Wix looks solid. Again, into a strong buying spot, trying to figure out exactly on a daily chart. It's not giving me much and I really don't want to buy it up here. I think I'd rather buy, honestly, this little past few days looks like the market. I'd have to think about this for a day. I'll let Jeremy set this one up, but Wix, I think, is setting up for a trade. I think I might need a little bit more information, meaning let a few more days go by. Let's see if I can get some spike in volume. You like my volume candle? That's solid. Some spike in volume, some hammer, maybe one more low back down into a stronger support, and let's crush that. I'm down for Wix. I might need a few more days to figure out exactly when to get in. TDOC. Yeah, we looked at this today on the mic, I'm pretty sure. I was actually looking for a leap off of this 10. I did not do it. And now that we're into this 20, I think we're getting close to that buy zone, if not already there. So this is where we're at on a weekly. We closed strong below the 50, so now I'm looking down at the 100. So 160 would be where I'm looking to start. Well, let's round it out to 162. 162 is what I'd want to do. Most of my swing trades, by the way, are just absolute zeros on options. I don't have any starts. And yeah, I still need to get back to a daily chart and even see, but I look at the long term on pullbacks just to even see where are we at. I don't like the fact, first off, that we smashed through the first 2 EMAs on a weekly when it's into a support zone, tells me it's weak. And then you close strongly below the 50. Yes, we're at a support now, and this might be the bouncing spot. I'm going to play it for one more drop lower. And then the carnage should be just about over with. So wait, give this one a little bit and see if you can't grab this. You'll buy a leap soon. Yeah, and we're into leap territory, everyone. Low on RSI, pushing lower on the RSI on a weekly. This is the times on these pullbacks are where you're getting into leaps. When markets are at new all-time highs, pass on the leaps, do swing trades, load up on leaps at great prices on great stocks on pullbacks. Redfin, again, trying to move quick. I got a massive list. I got to start jumping through this. Redfin, we bounced right off of the 10. So if we've bounced off the 10 before, what is this thing doing on a longer term play? We're going up, probably into there, and I think we roll down one more time. Yeah. Back to a daily now. Makes sense. One more low on Redfin, and it's game time, in my opinion. I'll put an alert down here to start setting up a trade. Let's see, where do I want it at? What do I have on a weekly? Let's do this 50. 54, what is that alert at? 54.60? No, 54.12. Man, I was way off. 54.12 is where I'm looking to get in on this guy. Looks like we have a wave 4 on a daily. Just longer term stuff tells me I think we're going to be rolling off these EMAs one more time and one more low. Jump on it. It says, is this an exam? Can Tony tackle 108 stocks in 1 hour? No, I'm the type of guy that likes to think about a stock for 15 minutes. You guys know me on a mic. I just kind of fall into this stupor of thought. But Jay flipped Tony the keys and said, good luck. That's right. I'm a swing trading master, y'all. You have nothing to worry about. One more low on Redfin, guys. 54.30 is my number. When that alert goes off, I'm looking to see how the candles form up on an hourly. I'm jumping in, just by the way. And I'm doing it with, you guessed it, leaps. You could do shares, but I'm looking longer term. I'll have a game plan. If this is not the bottom, I'll let 2 candles come in and I'll put an alert on the bottom of those 2 candles. I'll hedge that, meaning I'll just sell a call against my leap, buy some puts with the money that I get, write it down lower and buy some more at 45. That's my game plan on that guy for sure. Dow. Dow is actually high. Again, mostly stocks that are getting extended from EMAs yet that have not pulled back. I'm going to be even more patient. The poor man's collar. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. New highs, I'm expecting a pullback coming. Really, your next support is 56. I think that's a solid monthly support. So look this back on a daily. I know the daily is like, oh, that would be terrible if we got down there, but that's where you need to be buying. 56.39 is where I'd look. To me, this is a little bit high. If you're in this, start looking to take profits. This is the time to take profits on this guy. CHPT, Charge Point Holdings. I don't know much about this stock at all. I know Falco's in the house. Maybe you could help me out, but we do have a monthly 10. We've pulled into that. This is a bullish stock. I mean, this is what an S curve looks like, guys. It's give this 2 months and you should be making a new high. So the longer term saying buy, what is the daily telling me? Daily's not bad. The daily is not too shabby. You had a fantastic hammer on a daily down to support. Wait for, again, I'm doing this on a lot. Wait for another pushback down into the EMA. So 25-ish. Let's do that. They do EV charging stations. Oh, okay. Oh, so they're riding that wave. I like this. If I feel like that was the entry the first time, that's probably the entry the second time. And I think I could go even a little bit cheaper on this one. 25.42 is where I'm looking at. Charging stations for everyone. Everyone gets a charging station. And I could do a leaper swing on this one. Again, I do most of my stuff with options, but once that alert goes off, I'd be setting that up. I'm not going to set up like, hey, let's just buy this thing. I want to see what it does down here, how it reacts, the price action. But I set an alert just to get me looking that way. CRSP. Monthly looks great. Monthly looks fantastic. So does the weekly off of the 50. Have we bounced off the 50 before? It's always the 100. Okay, so this is where I'm looking. This support zone, that should match up with that 100 once we pull back down. And technically we've gotten there, so maybe I've missed this trade, but yeah, I'd give this another 2 weeks and see if this EMA will match this support. That's where you want to be buying. Rock and roll. This one looks fantastic on a longer term time frame. See if this can't mess around for a little bit. Like again, pull back down and into these lows and see what we get. I like it. Looks fantastic. LAC. Again, it's a perfect time. If we didn't lose all your money with swings on the pullback, you're getting opportunities to make so much money in 2 weeks to 6 months. Just buying some stuff at great prices that you want to own. So far, so good. Again, this just looks like we want to S-curve big time. I like the support level at 11 better. Right there. 1130 is where I'm looking at doing. So let's go back to a daily. Daily, I'm just below that support zone. So let's bump that up to the EMA actually in 1218. Somewhere in this area is where I want to do this guy at. So again, I'll put an alert there to see when it gets down there, but that's the area I want it at. Lead or swing. There we go. Net Cloudflare. Yeah, we've bounced off the 10 before. We've pulled back. We've actually had quite a few bear months in a row. Still extremely overbought on a monthly. How low are we on a daily? We're pretty low. We're getting a little bit of divergence. I would like to see it a little bit flatter than that, but probably one more. If we had to guess, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think one more off of this support. 52 could be a good swing trade location. Be greedy. The markets will give you a chance to get in at a great price, take the great price. You're not missing out on anything. Last thing you want to do is be buying a little bit too high and let them swing down and, and you're like, man, I should have just been buying here. Unless you have a plan to hedge it. You could buy up here, throw on some sort of hedge with it, and then just have a plan to add to your shares at 52 is you can do that pyramid in. But I'm in on a ton of stuff that I already want to be in at really good levels. So I'm not going to be too concerned if I miss out on some of these. I'm going to be a little bit more picky. I think one more low down makes a lot of sense. Uber. Wow, nice gap and go today on Uber. You can already see where I want this, 45. How much longer is that going to take? I don't know. It's going to take a while to get to me because this is a really nice consolidation and a gap up. Again, just it's too far from EMAs for me to take right now with the markets pulling back, but it looks extremely strong. I could understand why you would take a swing trade on this. Your stop will need to be down below 50 or around 50 and see if that would give you a 1R risk reward. I don't know if it would. If you played it back into that guy there. Yeah, it would. That would set up. So 50.20 is your stop. 56.69 could be an entry if you wanted that. To me, it's a little bit too high, but that makes sense for a trade. I love the gap. The gap and go that held. You're above all these EMAs now that you pulled back down into. If you are greedy and want the best location or a good location for a swing, wait for it to interact again with this. It's probably going to take another 4 weeks. Interact with this 100 EMA, the blue line. That's what I do on that one. AMWL. Ooh, just getting crushed. Newer stocks, there's not much for me to go off of. You're below your weekly EMAs. The one thing you have going for you is you're at the bottom of the channel. It's been here before multiple times. Something you need to look at for sure is if you were incredibly bullish, you would have gone right there. If you were somewhat bullish, you would have gone right there. So the fact that you pulled all the way down into here, is this the buying spot? Yes. I don't know anything about this company. I strictly am off of charts. Is this a good buying spot? if you like the company, then yeah, it's a fantastic buying spot. Teladoc Teladoc competitor, sweet. Yeah, I think this is a great stop, a great location if you love the company, especially that we put in a new low. The problem is I don't see any volume that's confirming to me that we're not going to keep just rolling down again. One more low, Edward told it could happen. Sammy says no. Please don't let that happen. Edward's like, please, let's do this thing. The volume is nothing spectacular for this low of a break on this massive of a support. I just don't see it. So I think we got a little bit more. If that's the case, have a game plan to hedge. Leaps up. You got it at the last low, then hedge it. I mean, don't give up your returns. If, depending on where we're at tomorrow, you pulled into the 10, this 10's been pushing us down this entire move. So what you're looking for is a close above this 10 to give you an idea that the bears are starting to lose strength. So it wouldn't hurt at all. If you grabbed it down here on this low, you're profitable. Go ahead and do my favorite hedge. It's simple, a caller. Should have sold, should have sold covered calls this morning. Yep. You still can though. Sell some covered calls, back up into wherever your target is, around 30, 35, somewhere in this ballpark. You can't go wrong with that. Use the money to buy you some puts if you broke down the low of 22.73. There you go. Profit locked in. It's only had 15 red candles in the past couple of weeks. Serious though. I mean, this is a sheer waterfall, but I don't know. This volume is just meh. Like I thought you'd get a candle like that. I mean, look what happened the last time you broke it. You're not getting that this time. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, man, I still got a big list to go through. All right, faster. DOCU. Well, that was a bull put spread that I did not do, but man, that hedge would have worked out fantastic on that one. Let's see. Man, let's go to a bigger picture. I don't know where to start with this one. You're still extended on the monthly chart. I mean, this thing has gone bananas. It could chop in this channel for another while, so buying off this low is something I would try. There's also a strong chance that you pull back down around 100 or even retest even lower real quick. It's going to be a flash and it'll take off. So keep an eye on this one. But you are at the bottom of the channel that you've bounced and then exit around 250. I mean, that's what works. It's been working. It's playing off down into here. So earnings are tomorrow. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. See what happens with earnings. If earnings gap down and you break this channel, I think look out below. Probably. It'll be a slow grind down because you're so oversold already. But I feel like this is a little bit top heavy as soon as you broke this trend. You made that new high, should have bounced there like you always did. You trapped everyone. We'll see. Seems a little bit heavy. See what happens with earnings. If you get good earnings, you could play an entry, but honestly, you needed to kind of be planning this and just playing off of this bottom, see if it would work. Because if you did that, you could have been buying there. You'd been profitable. You could have put a hedge on over earnings, buy some puts, whatever you want to do. You'd lock in your profits. And if it heads lower, you're covered. If it heads higher, fantastic. You're making money. So that's my thoughts on that. ENPH. Oh, man. Talk about just an absolute crank city rocket ship. Phase energy. Oh, my gosh. Again, your next place to start legging into this is 120. That's where your next place should be. Plan on a hedge of some sort and then legging again at 80 and you should be ready to rock and roll. That's what I think. So 120 and 80, those are your buying spots. That's what I'm going to be setting up. I'll put an alerts there around 120. And leg one, again, I'll be using leaps like I am on all these pullbacks. And then leg two will be at 80. That's my plan with this one. We need even cheaper. Yes, FLGT. It's extended. Again, go to a monthly, find those ones that are still quite a few percentage, 50% from the EMA. It's probably going to work its way down to there. Put an alert where that 10 is. So like at 65 and then wait. That's what I would do. I don't know if I'd be interested in buying this up here. What did I just say? Too many concussions, man. 68. That's right. 68. So down here. One more low of that, and you should be in a pretty good spot to buy. NVTA looks soft from a daily perspective. This could be a short, honestly. You had a fantastic support zone here. You broke it. You closed below it with multiple days. You bounce back up, put in kind of this like hanging man reverse upside down hammer, and I think you are on your way down again. So honestly, I'm not opposed to grabbing some bear trades. I have to go to a monthly time frame and see if it makes sense. Yeah, you have room for one more low. 28 is in the cards. So I'm not saying this thing's going to go to 12, but 28, one more low. If you grab it up there, that's a great trade. You could do something like that if you really wanted some bearish action in this market. I wouldn't mind that one bit. I don't short shares on swing trades. To me, there's too much risk. I do it with puts. I have no idea how the options are on this. I'm sure they're pretty decent, but yeah, I would be doing this with puts, not with short shares. Okay. Ethereum. What a monster. I know Jeremy's like, put your money in this thing because it's going to buy you a new Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Looks fantastic. Look where we bounced before, around the 50 to the 100. So play it again down there. It might need to make a new high, push back down, just like it did here. New high, push back down. I feel like I've kind of missed this. You had your chance to get back in off of the support. It was simple. 1440. Ready to rock and roll. But honestly, if you are looking long-term, just buy it. It doesn't really matter much, but I would wait for some sort of pullback and just be aware it's going to make a new high without you, most likely. Looks fantastic. It's made a massive move. It realistically needs to come back down to 13, 14. So 14 is down here. That's where I'm interested on this thing. Where do you buy a put at the target price 28? Where do you buy a put at the target price 28? On this one, you need to buy a put up here around 39. And your target price is there. I would do, for me personally, I would buy like the 35 strike, and I would give yourself 2 months. This will only probably take a week and a half to do it, but give yourself more time than you think. Give yourself a chance. And then there's an easy stop loss on this one right there. 44.59. That's your stop loss if you're going to do that with puts. Under says, hey, all, I'm new here. I'm having trouble getting into Slack account. Who can help me out? Yeah, I think if Falco's in the house, he can message you and give you some insight on that one for sure, man. Happy to help you out. If not, email Matt, M-A-T-T. There we go. Support real life trading. That's even better. Support real life. Thanks, Falco. Okay. CNX, I got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. CNX is just cranking. I mean, your next place you're going to buy this thing is 1434, in my opinion. If you're still in it, this is where I look to start taking profits. Once you get overbought, you normally will start pulling back. Overbought, start pulling back. If you notice, you're pulling back to this 50 and 100 most of the time. So that 50 should be at this support zone. I think that's a good place to get back to. Spot. I actually just grabbed me some spot today. I didn't go in heavy, but I did get some leaps and actually leaps on top of some swings. So I have an April 16th 280 strike that I got into for a swing, and my target is just back up into 300. So if you jump over to the weekly, it makes a ton of sense that with this massive drop, we would retest back up into these EMAs. And that's what I'm hoping on. Leaps on leaps. Nope. Swings on leaps, man. So I got these April 16th and it looks really good. I like this location for some longer term stuff. Leaps on swings, man. I have no problem legging into some leaps here and then bought some calls to try to get back up into 300. Makes a ton of sense to me. A ton. A monthly looks like we are just screaming to S-curve. Ton of monthly bear candles in a row, back into a support, ready to rock and roll and crank higher. So that's my thought on spot. Neo's working, a lot of these things working on an S-curve. This alert has been on here forever. I think since September, I put this alert here to buy it. Someday, maybe this alert will go off and I'll buy it and I'll make a ton of money on it. But however long you are planning on being in the trade, plan on waiting that long to get into it. Just have that in your head already and it helps. So you've hit this 200, which is probably a good bouncing spot. I love the volume that came in around this area. Kind of confirms it a little bit more. If you are looking to get into this guy, let's throw in an entry down around 36. I think I'm going to wait for some more. But 36 is a good entry, or even one more low. You could play that game with this thing. But the volume, this massive sell-off is telling me it's time to reverse at least the 50% move back up into these EMAs. 48 to 50. Man, that seems like a pretty easy target to jump on. That's how I play. Neo 1M is at a good spot on a weekly. Monthly looks good. Where did we S-curve? Right when perfect. Right off of that. Right when the 10 started. We're oversold on a daily. Earnings apparently were pretty okay. I know it seems like it's just an absolute waterfall, but this is probably the pullback that you wanted. 30, 40% pullback back into support zone. This is not bad. Not bad. I think it's ready to rock and roll. In fact, I'm putting this one on my list for tomorrow to probably buy some options. Again, most of my options I'm doing 6 or 7 months out right now. I'm not doing too many short-term stuff, even if I think it's not going to be too much longer. So yeah, I like this one a lot. The support zone we're already into. I think we could go a little bit lower. Just put an alert around like 39.50-ish and 6-month swing. Just let me know what to buy on that one. Cool. EXPI. Same thing. You guys are just nailing these things. I think solid support zones. Stocks that go straight up will go straight down. That's not a shocker. So don't get too stressed about this working down. You went up 200%. So, a 50% pullback for a 200% is that's pretty normal in my opinion. Earnings are apparently pretty close. I don't trust TradingView. I have to look it up. I just don't have time, but see how this one will play through earnings. I'm not going to buy it before earnings. It's not going to happen, but this is at a great buying spot. I think it's going to be hard to go wrong with this. So looks good. CHD. What do we have? Oh my gosh, guys. I'm ahead of schedule. How did that happen? Yes. I have a note to look at the monthly. I don't know why. I don't know when I wrote that. Oh yeah, the monthly does look good. Monthly does look good. into a monthly support. It's the same thing the last one did right here. Look, here's your monthly. Oh, what the? Here's your monthly support. Crank up, pull back down into it. We're just repeating history. I can give you more tickers if you want. Yeah, and I'll take more tickers too, by the way, because I thought I was behind, but I kicked on the afterburners and we just started cranking. So this thing looks good. Now it's just a matter of where can I get some entries. Get onto a daily. Love the volume. Okay, guys, we are right at the buy spot probably on CHD. And could you make another low? Of course. But this is the divergence that I'm wanting to see. Right there and right there. That's what I'm looking for on these guys. So I think your bounce is very close to coming. And I am also going to throw an alert tomorrow on this thing for a swing. Man, I've been in cash for so long that I am already like 70% of my account and stuff. Oh, let's see. All right, still got a few more. XELA. Wow, what a move on that guy. Let me zoom in so it's just not like it's extremely cheap. On these cheap ones, you need to make sure that you're getting in off of support. So 320, that's where I would start. But honestly, I'd stay away from these guys. If you were to do this, just do an absolute zero play with shares. You buy 100 shares, your risk is $300. Worst thing that can happen, this thing go to zero, just write it out. It looks like a pump and dump to me. I mean, anything that is going from nothing to something in a day, 200%, it's manipulated. Run for the hills. But if you had to, 320 is where I'd get them. Okay. Let me get caught back up because I know you guys are throwing me tickers like there's no tomorrow. If I missed your ticker, let me know. Oh my gosh. There's so many tickers. Oh my gosh. All right. I went from like doing really good on time to I am never going to make it. Okay. Tesla sell. We'll start with those two. Tesla hit my entry spot that I had an alert here since like December. And everyone's like, oh, we're never going back. And then I'm like, oh, I've missed out. We're going to 1,000 without me. Guess what just happened a few days ago? I got in some leaps on Tesla finally. And I actually put some size on it that I missed out doing down here. And if it goes down to 480, guess what I'm doing? I'm doubling down. That's my plan. 100%. Tesla looks freaking fantastic. It closed above the EMAs like I asked it to. Don't chase this. Oops. Don't chase this, but I do think it's going to do something like this. So look around 620 for an entry if you want it. Just be aware that Tesla could easily make one more low. Everything can. It seems like everything can make one more low, then we're going to run down the road, okay? So be aware of that. Okay, sell. Man, I got to drink some water. I'm flushed. Trying to get everyone's ticker in here is impossible. Kudos to anyone doing the afternoon room. This is awesome. I'm having tons of fun, though. I hope you guys are, too. I'm sorry I'm talking really fast. I just don't want to be taking my time and get through like 4 things. And everyone's like, get this dude out of here. Monthly looks good, but buy it at like 66 or 67. Buy it at 67. Love the fact that you're back up above the monthlies. That's where I'd be looking to get in on sale. Walmart, I got in some, leaps on the Walmart. And I thought Walmart forgot what it was like to put a bull day in. They forgot how to do it. And look at it now. We knew the bounce was coming on Walmart. I missed my shot to do some bull put spreads on this thing. It's all good. But I did catch some bottoms on this guy. And we are ready to rock and roll with some Walmart. So I like it a lot. Any pullback into 130, 131 is a great place to buy. Longer term play. SQ, and RGR and CRM, and I'll just keep going, guys, as far as I can. CRSR, I haven't looked at that stock in a little bit. TUP took a hit. DKNG. All right, we'll start with that, see how far I can get. All right. A square. Square, I think one more low is coming in on the daily, in my humble opinion. Still overbought on a monthly. We pulled back down to the 20 last time. We've got room to go lower. I mean, the 20 is sitting around 148. I've got a cleaning robot coming up behind me. I hope you guys can't hear that. Worst timing in the world to vacuum my floors. There we go. Sorry about that. One more low on this guy on Square. I'm not thoroughly convinced on this one, but I do like the volume. We also had volume on this one and we failed it miserably. So one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Buy it down there for sure. RGR looks great. Looks good. Massive distribution phase right here. Huge channel. You're breaking up out of it, retested. I would love to see this thing. Come on. Come on. Why are we not working? There we go. Love to see this thing S-curve and actually get some follow through. If you don't, then wait for the bottom of the channel around 40, 43. And we'll rock and roll with that guy. CRM, sorry guys, I'm not really catching up on the chat very well, but just trying to get some tickers in before we go. I've got a few minutes and I need to take requests for next week. CRM, same thing. We are getting into some longer term plays, and the monthly is not bad. The daily looks like garbage. So 195 would make sense. 195. Yeah, that's my number. Let's do that. 195 on CRM. CRSR, I haven't looked at you forever. Oh, it's so close to my leap spot. So close. Dang, that's kind of a bummer. I've had a lot of these do it. Most likely going to put in another low too. I think that's going to be a common theme with most stuff right now. Not enough volume to tell me this is the absolute bottom. I do love the trapping candle a little bit though, that we are bouncing. Maybe I've missed this, but I've had this alert on here forever. 2762. That's what I've got on that one. DraftKings is the strongest stock in the market right now. It seems like just absolutely putting in massive days and cranking. If you want DraftKings, 63.42 is where you need to start looking. We did the math on, run the numbers on this one with your stop down around 53. You can get a 1-to-1 right around the high of this one and then see if it can't go higher. That's what I would do with that one. Okay. Tesla, we talked about. X. What else do we got?
So Tony, here's a question that came into the chat pane.
Yeah.
When you buy your leaps, are they at the money, in the money, or out of the money?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm usually sitting like a 40 delta. So I'll go a couple strikes out of the money. I don't need to go at the money, but I don't like to go very far out of the money. And I'll tell you why. Because I love to be able to work options around my position. So let's say in this scenario, I do a leap, which I'm not going to on this one's too high. But let's say I did. If I bought the 90 strike, that now limits me to have to sell something above 90 if I want to do some sort of covered call against my leap. So if we pull back, I'm going to get next to nothing for this stuff way out of the money because I already bought way out of the money. That's number one. I can't work around it. Number two is you could be completely correct on the move. Completely correct. Let's say you bought the 90 strike and this thing does this. And then for the next 3 months, it pulls back down into 60. And the next 7 months, it goes up into here and it finishes at 85. Guess what's happened to your 90 strike? You just lost all your money. And you were correct, right? You bought the thing at 69. It ended at 85. Should have been a big winner. It wasn't because it took too long and your strike was too far out of the money. So I stick around a couple strikes out. I don't have it in front of me, but I would, like, if I was buying right here on some leaps, buy the 75. Something like that, right? Nothing, I don't need to be at the money. It doesn't have to pay that much for it. But normally when you're buying options, the more expensive one I tend to see is the better option, because that means you're having more time on it than less. You're closer to the money than way out of the money. And there's time and places for way out of the money options. If you really can get the direction and the timing right, because if you bought the 90, if you bought that 90 and it goes straight there, you're going to crush life. You just have to be correct on not just the direction, but the timing of it. So that's the risk you play way out of the money. All right, guys, let me get caught back up. We got shop. I had TUP on here, didn't I? I thought I saw that on there already, but apparently not. QDEL, shop. All right, get through this. I'm running out of time, guys. This will probably be my last little bit. So X looks fantastic. It looks really good on a daily. You've got a lot of resistances in front of your face though on a monthly. So I've already had an alert on this for around 1360. We'll see if it comes down to that, but I still like that for a buy. I would do that. And a lot of this seems like we're never getting back down here, but you'd be surprised. Daily looks really good. If you want to catch this on a swing trade, like 1870, put your stop down below 1616 and try to get a 1R back up into this high. That's what I'd be doing with this guy. TUP. This thing is filling up. Let me scroll down so I can answer a few questions. And hopefully I'll give us 5 minutes to answer any other questions you guys have on how I do my swing trades. They're a little bit different. Man, I'm so far behind. Is X going up? Did I talk about this yet? Yeah, okay, we just did. Okay, good. I want to make sure. TUP, it's at a good spot on a monthly. I'm just going to leave it at that. Look at the support. Yo, those are hand drawn. Look at this support, man. You've made a massive move. You've pulled down to some EMAs on a monthly. You're out of support. The daily looks terrible, but at the least, you're going to come up and fill this gap a little bit. 30 is in the question. So QDEL, I already have a leap set up for this one, 112.84. It's where I want it. Jump out to a bigger time frame, play it off with a 50. Give this 2 months, and you'll be so glad you bought down around 100. I mean, just leave it at that. Don't look at it for a few months and enjoy your money. Jeremy says, love you guys. Amazing session, boarding a plane, staying in the States. Thank you, Jeremy. The joke on that is every time he leaves, the markets fall apart. We just can't do it without Jeremy's money holding us up. So it's just how the markets roll. Sweet man, love you. Be safe. Short everything. Yes. Buy the dip again. So this is where I want it, 110, and then shop. Okay, guys, type in. We have a few minutes, literally a few minutes. You want me to answer any questions? Throw it out there. I'll give my best to give you a 1 minute answer. Throw it out there. Shopify is extended. I mean, it is. It's one of the strongest stocks out there. Most of the time when a stock will do this and pop, it'll come around and it kind of gives you the middle finger. So I'm guessing we're pulling lower. Look around the 100 or 200 on Shopify. What happened to my voice? I talk too much. That's what's happening to my voice. It's failing. I can't do it. And I have a mentoring group after this. Lack of sleep, talking too much. It's just, there comes to a point where nothing's going to come out anymore. Roku, can it or does it need to drop? It needs to drop. I would say needs to drop some more. I am looking at Roku, like to leg in my first thought, 288. That's a good spot. I think it could drop some more. realistically, if you can get Roku sub 250, you won't go wrong. Just give it enough time. Airlines longer term. You know, I like Southwest. It's already proven itself strong, and 50 is where I want it. So, by the way, we have a new video out for RLT. How can your partner help you with trading psychology? I was watching this. I'm in this. It's fantastic, by the way. You guys should really jump on that. Look at it. Watch that. Huge, huge help for those that are trading for your spouse. If they're trading with you or they don't know what trading is and stuff. You have specific airlines. I think airlines are going to be bolstered up by the government. They have a long road ahead of them, but with more vaccines and economies opening up and states opening up, it's going to help them out. But they've also lost so much money. Without government help, they're all going to be in big trouble. George says, noob question. All good. If you're getting into a 2 to 6 day swing with options, what is the least amount of days expiration? Do 30 days. So whatever you think you need, times it by 3. That's a pretty good rule to follow. You're never going to get hurt that bad. Yes, you might make a little bit less money because the options cost you more money, but it's going to be hard to go wrong by you giving yourself more time on an option. 30 days. If you think it's going to happen in 2 days, buy the month out. The rule of 3 works in so many aspects of life. Tell you, man. All right, before I bounce out, let's look at the stocks you want for tomorrow. You can start throwing them my way. We got apps, crowd. Oops. Oh no, it broke. Did it freeze? There we go. UW Day, Nova, Fastly. We got Thanks Tony, JKS. No, JKS. Come on, keyboard. Doing it again. It's frozen. Literally frozen. All right, let's try this again. JKS. There we go. We're working at it. Okay. And I was getting caught up on the chat pane too, and it just took off without me. Chewy, Fastly. Do I have that on there? Fastly, I don't have Chewy on there. Oh my gosh, I think my battery's dead on my keyboard. It's not working. Disney, Baba. SPLK. No, SPLK. Yeah, there we go. AMD, AQMS. Woo! We got some stuff coming our way. We got Facebook. All right, IDX. DQ, RBLX. All right, that's a pretty good list. Come on. Dairy Queen. Just kidding, but it should be RBLX. No. I swear, I gotta plug my keyboard in after this. ACAT. Okay. Nope. Come on. It's guys, it's straight up done. All right, that's all we've got on the keyboard today. Pen and paper, I know. Wow. It's done. All right. It's like, you know what? Turn me off. I'm going to go still on the couch and do nothing. I love you all. Hey, thanks for putting up with me today. Had a blast. Go make some money. Don't look at your P&L. Focus on that longer term play. Don't be scared to buy this dip. Have a game plan if it goes lower. And in 6 months, you'll be glad that you controlled your emotions. So love y'all. Be safe. Have fun. Travel safe, Jeremy. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.